Welcome to Home and Away. I'm Lori Carson, and today we're coming to you from Atchison, Kansas, and the Tuck You In at the Glick Mansion. Joining me is innkeeper Chris Wildy. Chris, thanks very much for having us today.
You're more than welcome. We're glad you're here.
This is such a beautiful home in many ways, and it has a lot of historic relevance. It was formerly a governor's mansion and is also on the National Register of Historic Places. Tell us a little bit about who the home was built for and when.
George and Elizabeth Glick came here from Ohio in 1850s, and they built the house in 1873 as a Gothic Victorian, like many of the old homes in Atchison, and they lived here for 40 years. George was a lawyer by profession. His law partner was Amelia Earhart's grandfather, and Judge Alfred Otis probably came down to see George and may have brought Amelia and Pidge with him. But George did become the 9th governor of Kansas, and his claim to fame is being the first Democratic governor here in Kansas.
This is a beautiful home, architecturally speaking. It was originally a Gothic Victorian, and there are certainly an abundance of Victorian homes in Atchison, but anyone who sees the house now would recognize it as a Tudor revival. How and when and why did that drastic change take place?
Well, their daughter Jenny lived here, of course, growing up, and then she married a lawyer called James Orr. His name was James Orr. And she lived here after her mother and father. In 1913, 2 years after her daddy died, she hired the architect Lewis Curtis, who was very famous in Kansas City at the time. And he did this transformation of this home, and it has been on the register for a number of years, but has remained and shall remain the Tudor revival on the register.